Yeah, so then click on save. After saving the form, then launch the business rules. So the data is saving. Just for wait for few minutes. Like the previous we see that without saving the data, if you are going to run the business rule and launch the business rule, it will be shows like a pop-up, so that we have to save the data first, then we can launch the business rules. So the form is saving still, just for the saving status. After getting the status as saving, yeah, then going to launch the business rule. Click on actions and then click on business rules, then click on consolidate. So fab, total geography, scenario actual, here is FY20. Click on launch. Error detected while attempting the process of job consolidated. Okay, let's see the data is rolled up to its parent level or not. Data 4,000, 6,000, 8,000, but at the level of yeah. So at the level of common stocks, it is not calculated. Let's change the data again and see what happened, why it is not consolidated. Save the form. Yeah, it's take 1 minute of time to save the form. After getting the save status, yeah, the data has been saved. Yeah, in the common stock, we are taking at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, and the same values are taken for the common stocks also. That's why that will be shown as a pop-up. If you change the data for the 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, if you want to change, you can change the data. It's not going to be showing the pop-up. So same the credentials, launch the data. So error detected. Let's see the error. Is it in gray cell or in the edited cells? If you have the gray cells, the consolidation already, yes, at the time of retained earnings, at the time of owner's equity, the data will be consolidated. Whereas at the LE01, we are giving as the 2000 and 200. That will roll up at the owner's equity 2200 and 3300 and 4500. 400. Like this, that will be roll up at the parent levels. Let's check in the C1. Let's check in the consolidation form. Like that, we can change it from the period of Feb to Jan also. If you change the data, that also be changes at the parent level. It will be consolidated at the parent level. Let's see the consolidation form. It will reflect here. So here is the Jan. I'm going to the Feb where I have done the consolidation process. Same as for the Jan process. Hit on the go. Yeah, the levels are come back here. So 200, 300 and 400. Coming to the Jan period, the process is same. Let's see. I'm going to changing the data at the Jan period. Click on zone. Click on OK. So hit on go. Hit on go. And we can change the data here, like I'm changing it as 500 and then it as a 600. Save the form. It's take a minute, 1 minute of time. Okay, then launch the business rules. Click on actions, launch the business rules, consolidate, change the period as Jan, expand the area total, under expand the quadrant, then take the Jan, click on OK, then launch. Okay, so let's see the entity Lee underscore 02. We scroll up at the level of 2500 and 1600 at the owner's equity, and these are the other cases without tax, interest in payable. These are the other topic. So let's see in the consolidation form. Yeah, the roll-up process, run the business rules from here also. Save once. After saving the data, then run the business rules. Click on actions, run the business rules. Click on consolidate, and then click on launch. Click on OK. So the data is roll up at the owner's equity as we see. The data will be reflected at the consolidation form. See how the data is reflected. Like I'm changing here as 5,000, 6,000 and 7,000. Then hit on save. The form is saving. Okay. So see in the consolidation. Yeah. The change will be occurred as 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. Before that, it having 200, 300, 400. So anything change in this form, the consolidation form will be changed. That concludes the practice for. So practice for the lesson 30, managing job migration on audit data. Let's see. So practice 30-1, create and schedule a data import job. Select overview from the application cluster, then click on the actions dropdown and then select the inbox or outbox explorer, and then click on upload browse from the import data, and then click on OK, close the tab, and then click the actions drop down again, select the import data, click on create for the location, select inbox in the source file column, give the file name as the import data, then click on save as job, and on the save as job page enter the following details, click save, close all the open dialog box, and then click the jobs tab. Now select the schedule job on the screen, on the schedule jobs page, select the import data, then give the name of the jobs, then click next, then select the job you had saved and click next, and then review your details and click finish. Then your job will be available in the job section. Then practice 13-2, select the task for auditing. Click the audit card in the tools cluster, then click configure, and then uncheck the data from approvals and clear the cell details. Click apply. Okay, then practice 13-3, exporting and deleting the audit trail. Click on the audit card under the tools cluster, click the icon, the audit page, enter the following filters, and then you will be able to see audit data Now click on actions, click on export, click OK and save the actions. Then click on the delete. Keep the same filter, click delete. Audit data for the selected will be shown as the screen given screenshot. So 13-4 exporting the artifacts and data snapshots. Click on the migrate and tools cluster. You will see all the application components, form details, categories. Save all the categories. Click export and save the application in the local system and see the migration status. And then click on the snapshots, click on the actions drop downs, click on the snapshot missions, and then importing data, practice 13-5 importing data from the snapshot. Log into the overview application cluster. On the overview actions, remove the actions and remove the application. Click on save. After removing the application, log into the page. Now click on the migrate to backup them. Go to the snapshot tab. Click action, then click on the import. Once click on the report, the snapshot import will be being processed. Sign out and sign in the application again. Yeah, come back to the application. Click on the home page. Click on the application. Click on the application. Click on the overview. So click on the dimensions. Here is the action. Here we have the import export explorers. You can then upload the file in our local system or in the lab section. I'm going to uploading the file as a entity. So have we given the file? So I want to choose another one. Upload the file. Choose the file as a currency and open. Then upload the file. The file is uploaded. I want the file. Okay, upload the file. Hit on refresh and close. Go to the actions. Okay, I want the file which is uploaded. So I want to copy the file. Why? Because I'm going to importing this file in import metadata. So close. Look on the actions drop down. Import data. So create. Choosing the inbox. Click on inbox. Give the source file and then save as a. If you want to give some name, you can give. Yes, I want to give the currency. Why this is the currency dimension? That's fine. So click on OK. So I'm not validated. I want to validate import format also. So click on import. Open the currency. This job has been already saved. Okay. Then go to the job spot. Let's see what's happened. The import format. Yeah, it's imported successfully. Then click on the schedule jobs. Then schedule the import data job. Then I'm giving the name as the currency and daily end date and start date. I'm giving as 28th. Click on OK and then click on next. Okay. Schedule starting from give the data correctly. If you are not giving the scheduling correctly, this will be coming like this pop-up. So I'm not going to give the any date and click on next. Okay, the date today is the 5. So I want to change the date. Click on OK. So click on next. What happened? 3:30. Okay, I want to change the time zone also because I want to change as the time zone Indian time. So Indian Kolkata time. Let's see the schedule. Okay, this is 9:01. So the timing will be the change. Let's take as 6. Click on next. So that's so giving when you are giving the schedules, you must see what schedule you are giving. The started and the intake. So the started I'm giving as a 6, and also I'm changing the day time as the Kolkata Indian time, whichever the time zone we want, we can schedule here. And at the same time zone here it is at 9:01, so that the time is 9:01 a.m. So that I'm taking as tomorrow's to validate it. And go on next, scheduling as the for the tomorrow. And next one, then see the total review of our application, job application, including metadata, and click finish. So the currency dimension which is have imported in the metadata currency in the import format, that will be scheduled for tomorrow. If you want to change you can edit. So if you want to change the recurrence pattern, you can change. If you want to change the edit date, you can change also. These two are available at the edit section. Click on this and click on finish. So then go back to audit type. So click on use cluster. Then we have audit card. Click on audit card. So here is the filter. I want to change the date. Like start date is 2 and then it is 4. Click on apply. So the date which is given by me, the details are coming here. And then if you configure, I am going to remove the data from unclear cells details from these data. So click on apply and then click on actions, delete the data, then delete here. So the status, the records will be deleted as per the date. And then click on home page and click on application, then click on the migration, sorry, in tools cluster we have the migration, yeah, click on the migration. So these all are which we have done in the application. If you want backup, you can click or uncheck the check the boxes for the backup. You can click here for the backup. You can export from here, which is stored in the labby, so which is stored in our local files, so that we can use it anytime. At the backup, it is available in the application level for the 60 days. Next, next we go for the snapshot. So in snapshot, we have already migrated these files. So those files are appear here. If you want to upload anyone, you can upload. And from actions menu, you can, if you want to delete, if you want to download or repeat the export, rename it or import modify history, you can do in the snapshots. So that come to the reportings. So the migration status. We can see the migration status here. Is it completed or completed successfully or failed or completed with any warnings? You can choose the see the changes or the migration status. Click on close. I'm not going to migrate my application. Why? Because I have a lot of data in my I have a lot of data. If I'm going to migrate, and we can have the backup, but the application process is taking so much of time, so that I'm not going to be migrate and show you. I have already show you that how the migration process is doing. After completion all that migration process, then sign into the application. Here we can sign out and sign in the application. After the migration process completed, click on the application cluster overview, and then click on the actions drop down. Then we have the remove application. You can remove the application from here. After that, sign out, sign in the application from here, and then the application is coming like this. Click on the migration tab, then import. Click on the actions, there you have the import. Click on the import, and then sign in, sign out the application. The application is come back like this. The application is come back like this as the previous application. That concludes the chapter. That concludes chapter 13. Concludes the chapter 13. So let's go for the next section. So giving the choose the activity guide for the next section. Click on student guide. Then we have the activity guide. Click on continue. So these are the honest topics are in this place. So practice for lesson 1, managing approvals. Let's see. Practice 1-1, setting up the approvals. Next, sign into the application. Then click on the home page. In the click on tools which will have the access control on the home page. Click on the access control tab. On the left hand panel, click the manage rules tab, manage users tab. Under user login, give the user logins and create bottom review values as follows. So give all the data for using the posting approval processes in number of sections under available groups. Click search under group under user under viewer. Make sure the application is accessible for all the users. Click on the application, go to the settings, enable the applications for the all users, and click on the save. Click the navigator tools under variables and make sure the correct values are set for the users for the years, and then click save. So let's see the process how it is going on. After giving all the data, then log into admin, click on home page, navigator, workflow approval unit, click the create button on create approval unit hierarchy page, enter the values under the approval dimensions, click the primary and subsidiary selection tab to select the member to be included in the approval process, select display and all entities, expand them, and then assign the owners tab to specify the approval units ownership, and then assign owners page and equity, sorry, entity. Click on save, click on ok, and click on ok for information dialog box. Close it. Approval unit hierarchy will be approve the unit page. After that, click on the navigator workflow approval unit assignments. Go to the click on the approval unit assignment. There we can give the mandatory data. After that, click on save, and then come to the practice 1 dash to promote, approve, and to log the approval units assumptions like a task. Click on the manage approval under the workflow and give the POV, and click go. Click view the process status, preview, view the process status, and then click the bottom in the start column, and then click OK and review, and let's see the under review approval unit actions, change the status, promote it to the status action, click OK, approve, and approve unit, login approval, and giving the credentials. After login to them, give the POV selection, then apply, then change the status, approval status, then click on done. Log in the user admin, navigator, approval is workflow, scenario actual. All this data is given. Let's see the status of the approval. Go for the workflow, click on the navigator. Then we have in the approval unit, click on approval unit. So I have already created the user. If you want to create user, you can click on the press icon. There you can give the hierarchy name and take the approval templates, the QD's console, then primary and secondary section. Okay, I'm giving the name some like entity or data, whatever the hierarchy you want to do, you can give here. After giving this, click on the primary and subsidiary. So here entity level, I'm expanding the entity level. Whatever the data I want to take in, choose from here. So for choosing, check the boxes. After checking the boxes, assign the bonus from here. So here we can assign the bonus for this. I'm taking the bonus as a, so power user as a owner. Okay, push into the underscore, then click on OK. So as for the reviewer, if you want to take, you can take the reviewer. Taking as a user, I'm showing the how to creation process, giving the value numbers if you want to give. You can give the value numbers if you want to give, and it is a promotional path. It shows the path who is the owner, window who is the reviewer. If you want to notify these users, you can notify these users from here. Like this, we are created the approval unit. I have already created. Show you that I'm giving the user description as AP. Then I'm taking the hierarchies, expand this, So I'm taking the LE01 and LE underscore 01, LE underscore 02. Under segments, I'm taking the EN01 underscore 01, EN01 underscore 02. So then have assigned the users here. Let's see, expand in the entity. So power user is the owner, reviewer is the user. You don't say. Click on OK. Okay. Then go to the home page and again click on navigator and then click on approval unit assignment. There we can allot the scenario, actual, and it is FY22 period is here. So giving the all those mandatory data we send the users. After that, click on the navigator, save the changes. After that, click on the navigator, click on the manage approvals. So I'm taking the select scenario as actual. Here is FY22. Period is Jan. Hit on go. The data have already launched. Let's see how to launch the data. See the data. So these are all I have show you at the before. So all those are under the manage approvals in the preview. Here you start or exclude. I show you that it is not started. I'm going to start the LE underscore 01. So the path is started. If you want to see the path, you can see here also. Let's see. So current owner is a power user. Okay. So the details, if you want to see, you can see the details from here. So click on that. Then the location is LE underscore 01. Current owner is a power user. So coming to the process status. So here you can see that the LD01, the LD underscore 01 is under review. The EN01 underscore 01 is already approved. If you want to change the status, you can change the status here. I'm changing the status as approved. Click on approve. Click on OK. So then we are going to see the data at the owner power user. There we can see the data as approved. There can also be change the status. So select the change status, click on OK. Yeah. So the two status are being changed. The LD underscore 02 is in process. If you are going to sign out and sign in with the credentials of owner, then we can have the access to approve. So let's see the hierarchy process we can do here. Next I'm going to sign out those are the owners for this current process, and this is the location, and the substatus is approval. I'm going to log in with the user to approve the data. Sign out, click on OK. Then sign in with the user. Click on go. So click on the approvals. So we have the LE02. So approval status. Click on LE02. Here you can change the status as approved. And click on change status. And then click on that. Like this we can do the approval status. have already approved. Let's see the approval ones. So click on approval image. So EN01 underscore 01 has approved. Now the log. So if you want to change the status, you can change. If the process is changed for the log status, we can't edit the data. That's why I'm not going to be log the data. So that concludes the practice for the lesson 1. Next practice for the lesson 2, task manager. Click on home page, click on the application task manager. In the left hand panel, click the organization tab, click the modify rules tab, click create holiday rules, and then click plus button to create a first holiday. Create holiday per time following as the month, year, and date, and click on save with the organization unit tab. You can see the estimate organization rules, and click on the total geography. Click add siblings. Provide the following values to create the new organization. These are the data which is required to fill. Click save. After creating the top level organization, and newly created organization unit in the hierarchy, and then middle east, add a shade. Provide the following value to create the new child organization. Click save, and then complete the practice to create the organization unit. Practice 2-2, creating the teams. Click on home page, under the cluster has the access control, same as giving the click on the access control. Under manager, click on the manage team, and you can see list of existing lens on the page, and create new button. Provide these values for the following task manager tab, and click on add. Then search for the users approval. Select the add button and click OK. Primary user checkbox. So click OK. Compose, and practice 2-3, create the template and adding the tasks, and sign in the credentials on the home page. Click on the application task manager, and then left side click on the template tab. Click on the template tab, and then click on new. Give the all the data and click on OK. Then click on the task tab, and then click on the filter section. Under the templates field, select template for the monthly closes, and click on new. Then give the data on the workflow. Under the approval, click on add. Then select the approvers, and then approvers or team, whatever you want, you can select the approvers or team, and then take the team, search for it, and click on OK. Provide the values for the other attributes. Click on save and close the button. And then practice 2-4, creating the schedule for the templates. Here we can schedule the templates for the creating schedules for the template. On the home page, navigate to application task manager. Click on the template tab, and then modify the closer, and then schedule the button, and then give the data. Click on the create schedule button, and create schedule, and click on close. Complete the schedule is completed successfully, coming as a status, and then click on the OK. So I'm giving the credentials. Let's go to the application. So in application, we have the task manager. Click on the task manager. Click on the organization unit. Create a holiday rule. So I have already created the rule has a sample. So under sample I have created the demo as the chain as shown in the activity guide. Here is the total geography. For the total geography creating the chain. Same likewise I am creating the sample, and for the sample I am creating the shade. For sample I have created the holiday rule, name as the sample, and organization unit as the OUS, and if you want to give those of them, it's not a mandatory fields. If you want to give, you can give for the location. The time zone is taken as Indian Kolkata time. If you want to change, you can change the rule. Then holiday rule for I'm created a holiday rule for Saturday and Sunday workdays are the Monday to Friday, and for come to the access, I'm giving the access to the power user, and then click on holiday rules. So there I have created the holiday rules. Click on holiday rule. So the holiday rule in HRM name is a holiday, and giving the holiday as the December 21st for the Christmas, New Year 1st for the New Year. I have created the holiday rule. After creating these holiday rules, then click on save. If you want new, you can add the new one from here also, or from actions menu, or clicking the plus icon. So after completing of the creation of the holiday rule, then come back to the application. Click on the tools cluster. Under tools cluster, we have the access control. Click on the access control. I'm Next, for the access control, click on the task manager. If you want to create for the journals, click on the journals. For managing users, click on the managing users. There we are creating the managing users for the approval hierarchy. At the same like that, click on the task manager. They have created for the power user and user. I have given the access. If you want to create, you can create from here. If you want to clear all the filters, you can clear all the filters. If you want to clear the filter, or if you want to add the filter, you can filter here. If you want to do any edit, you can edit here. So here is the power user. I am taking the groups as group 1 power user, and so our status is available. Click on OK. Same as for the users, you can create here. So giving the access. Let's see view, columns reorder, and export and edit. After creating the users, go back to the home page. Click on the tools cluster. In tools cluster, click on the application. Click on the task manager. After giving the all those things, then come back to the templates. There we are creating the templates. If you want to create the templates, you can create it from here. I have already created task template. Click on template, task template. So here is the property page. You can give the name and the number of days before, number of days after. You can give the number of days before, after from here. The current owner is the service administrator. So click on the instructions, click on plus icon. So if you want to give any file, you can give here. So next viewers, if you want to give the viewers, you can give from here. and then attributes. If you want to give any of the attributes, we can give here. Then the labels. The negative days indicates that uh, half of the month where were not started, and the day positive days are shows that as the working days. The day zero store like a starting day, and if you want to enable the templates, you can enable the templates from here. If you want to rules any of them, like if ALC, you can do it here. Here you can see the history, whatever you have created or deleted or edited, all the history you can review here. Click on OK. So the integrations are already pre-built ones. Here we have created the attribute. That attribute reflects in the templates. So let's see how the attributes are created. Click on the attribute plus icon to create. They are created as the attribute one. That will be reflected in the templates. If you want to use that attribute, we can use the list. If you want to see any list of data, you can see the list of data by taking the required data selection in the filters. If you want to give any type of errors, we can give the errors from here. This is the task type, and this is the schedule. You can schedule from here. So clicking on the plus icon, you can schedule the task. So click on this task. So at the property layout, give the name and giving the organization unit, start date, end date, year and the period, and day zero dates, all those credentials. So then these are all those are will be done. So let's see how we are going to create the schedules. Okay, these are the mandatory fields. You must be the mandatory fields. Then click on instructions. Okay, the end date are not given. Okay, I'm giving the end date. Day zero date. I'm giving as a today date as a day date. Zero date. I'm clicking on the instructions. Click on the plus icon. If you want to upload any file, you can upload. Then click on view for viewing the data. And also allow the users for users or whoever want to allot. So if you want to give the attributes, you can give the attributes from here. So day labels. The day labels, here we can say that what is the day, how much of the amount to credit the company, to credit the company to the employees. We can do the rules from here, giving the rules. So have the rules like auto submit task, prevent task submissions, all this. Whatever the rule you want to give, you can give. So here is the approval levels. If you want to view the approval levels, you can view from here. If you want to create any type of the conditions, you can create from here. Click on OK. Sorry, I'm not doing. Click on cancel, and then history. Any type of the any type of the data we can see in the history page, either the changes made or approved, whatever that we can change. You can set the status as a open, close and locked status from here, And so after completion of all those things, then go to the task tab, click on home page and click on the task tab, click on the task tab, schedule tasks. So the scheduled tasks are, these are the scheduled tasks. So I'm whichever the scheduling tasks those tasks are coming to the task tab. There we can see that approval status. So the owner is the administrator. The status is already have approved, and click on the new task one. So this is not approved, so that without approval the status is coming like that. So approval task is the task in actions menu. We have the reject task, about task, and force close task, reopen task, refresh. All these hierarchies. Let's see the workflow. That approver is a P1 and SN is a T1. Like that we can go to the approver to approve the task. Sign out and sign into the approver. I am giving the approver as a power user. Giving the credentials for logging the page. Click on go. So click on the task tab. Click on the schedules. Here we can see the schedules approval status. It is not approved, so I am going to click on the new task. So here I am going to approve the task. Click on approving task. So the task is approved. Then see the we have only refresh after approving. In the actions drop down we can see that only refresh. Without approving status we can see that reject process, all those processes, but after approving we only have the refreshing ones. So like this we can approve the task, scheduled tasks. So all these tasks are already approved. That concludes that lesson 2. And again I'm going to log in with the service administrator. Click on the application. Let's see practice for lesson 3, managing close process using the task manager. So let's see practice 3-1, opening the schedules. Open the home page, navigator, application, task manager. Okay, these all the process also be done from previous section. So this process completed. Go for the practice for the lesson 3, managing close process using task manager. There we are done. We have already done in the application, like we are going to open the task tab. There we can approve the state, go click on the workflow and submit the task, and again login with the credentials, whichever having the approval, like a power user and user login through their credentials and approving the data. All those practice 3 are completed, already completed. So after that 3-3 also be completed. We are approving all that and we see in the result. Let's see, yeah, in the toolbar we can set as a status. Have shown that if you are open, if you want to close you can close, or open, or if you want to log the status you can log. But when you log the status you can change the status. Coming to the practice for the lesson 4, setting up the supplemental data. Let's see. Practice 4-1, creating the data status collection. Create the data set and click on the home page, click on the application and click on the supplemental card, and then left hand panel collection tab, then click on new, give the necessary data, click on the attributes tab to create the attributes, click on add attributes drop down and give the necessary data, and then click on the key and click on the key identifiers, assign to debit, and click on save and close. Practice 4-2, creating from the templates, assign in the admin with the password and sign in admin password. On the home page, click the application supplemental data, and then click on and then click on the application supplemental data and the from templates tab. Then see the how will be templates appear, then click on new and give the necessary data, and then instructions, click on instructions tab, select the tab, create new one, click on the columns tab and give the data, click the group by tab, and the group by tab uh, depth type field, check the box under column included, again debit account field, click on OK, click on workflow tab, then following is information in when to start section, and give the approval hierarchies, and then follow the information on the user sections, workflow, all those things, then click on save and close. Collection practice for the lesson 5, collection of the supplemental data deploying from the template. So click on the navigation supplemental data, click on the data selection card, set the data, and give the necessary details, click on save and deploy the open periods and save. Then click on the home page application supplemental card, click on the template tab and click on the drop down actions, deploy them, and then give the detail, check the details and give the details, then click on OK, deploy from the template, and then give the copy button, deploy button, click S, deploy the information, click OK, and then the deploy process completed, click close again, and practice to the deploy from the template, complete the practice to the deploy from the template. Practice 5-2, entering the data in the forms and posting the FCCS. Okay, on the home page, click on task tab, there you have the supplemental data task, click on the supplemental data task, click on the data information, and then click on the template name, and then give the data whichever you want to give, then click on save, click the submit, click close, and then approve the form data, click on to the approvals, approval with password, and the home page, click on task, then supplemental task, there we can we have the level to approve them, click on the approve, click on close, it's in login, post the forms and log in the administrator, again click on the task tab, click the supplemental task tab, left hand side, and record the depth information from giving the left hand side, the debit information is located, and then review the post, close the data. Coming to the application, have the supplemental data, under the application click on the supplemental data, so click on the collections data, they have already created the collections data. If you want to create new one, you can create by clicking on the plus icon. So I have created practice, so giving the property name, and description is optional. Substitution, the substitution collection, if you want to use, you must have to create the parent one, then you have to create the substitution, then you can have the option to choose the substitution collection. collection intervals are default. If you are creating any collection intervals, that will be appear here. Associate USD sub collections, share records among the templates. Yes. Click on attributes. If you want to create attributes, you can create from here. Click on plus icon drop down. There we have the add attributes or add attributes from the dimension. Whichever the attributes if you want to create, you can create the attributes like this. Click on the attributes. So here is the property. There I am giving the attributes name and the description is optional. There are two types: input for the validations. Before clicking on it, clicking on save, and then we can see the validation. In validations we have the like I'm show you just a second. Yeah, so I'm going to edit one of the attribute. So here is the input. So you are taking the input, then we have the I'm taking the data type as a list. For the list I'm adding as a 1 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40 years like this. After completion of property phase, then click on the validation. In validation we can give the conditions like this, so that we can give the do not equal all these things, conjunctions also, and or whichever you want to do. If we can do here, we can do the data from here in validations. So for the calculation we must give the columns, then the calculation will be highlighted. For the validation the calculation is not necessary. In history we can see all the created edited informations, and then click on OK. Let's see for the columns also, calculation tab also. So this is also for the validation. Again checking for the 83. So yeah, here we have in the calculation. Then we can calculate like a if condition or else condition also. We can change the conditions, whatever we want to give, we can give the condition from here. History, as I said that we can see the history, whatever the modifications are done here. So next, yeah. So this is the way to create the new attribute. I have created the new attribute. So the history, whatever the fields we are edited, deleted, created, not for all those things are located in the history to review. Click on save and close. After creating the collections, then click on to the template. So I have created the template. If you want to create new template, you can create from here. Let's see. So first of all, give the name for that form, edit form. Coming back to edit ones, and then description is a default as usual. For the previous cases, I am giving the power user as the administrator. So coming to the instructor. So in instructions, if you want to choose any file to upload, you can choose from here. And then coming back to the sections tab. So in sections tab, so I will show you. In sections tab, giving the name, undertaking as the collection practice 1, and sub collection all, and data records as the column. Then click on columns. So here is the columns. For these I have created like a clicking on edit, giving the property, clicking on the validation, giving the conjunctions as I already told you. Like for if you want to take the calculation, then we can calculate. Next, click on the group by. So in group by, you have to while we are creating the properties, you must give the assigning in the columns. So if you are creating the attributes, you must give the or any of the one assigning. The entity is by default it having the assigning. Why? Because I'm showing at the next levels why it is having the pre-built assigning. After giving the attributes, you must give one of the assigning to schedule or post or a supplemental data to store anything. So I'm taking the group by checking the boxes and then going to the mapping tab. So I have mapped the tab. So whatever the column and group by checking the boxes, those all are mapped from here. So the history shows the complete attributes and properties whatever they happen. So here is the refresh data. Under the member selections, whatever the members you want to select, you can select the members from here. Like this, you can select the members from here. Hit on OK. So click on the workflow. So in workflow, we when to start frequency, we are given the frequency, schedule, forms, ending, starting, offsets, workflow. So workflow, we have the different types. If you want to give only preparer, you can give the preparer. If you want to give preparer approver or preparer post and preparer post and post, whatever you want to give, you can give here. Under level approval is the one, under duration is one, approval one, integration one. If you want to take the any team or group, then you can take as the approval tools for groups or teams, whatever. When how many members are needed for the approvals, preparers, integrators, you can take here from here. Under giving the approvals, under preparers, integrators, click on plus icon. Under the approval workflow is open, then you can take the entity member giving the preparer, approval, integrator, and going on the questions. If you want to give any each questions or any questions from here, you can give the questions access. If you want to give the access, you can give the access from here also for the viewers and workflow also. History, the whatever the data is coming in the history, click on save and close. After creating the templates, click on the managing, clicking on the collection intervals. So in collection intervals have created. For that frequency you have created, we can choose any four of the frequencies. The year, period as default. Apart from year and period, we have only two dimension levels to choose. At the workflow level, we can choose the five of them. The entity is the predefined one, that is the reason where the attributes, the the columns and calculation state, we will get the access for the as any entity predefined. Why? Because this is the reason. And here we can take the apart from entity, four of the dimensions we can choose from the workflow. So coming to the periods, the periods. So I have already opened the Jan and Feb periods, giving the start date, end date, closing date, and here is the open periods. So here you can open the period and close the period. I have already opened the periods, and clicking on the template, clicking on the actions, and click on the deploy. Choose the collection period. So I have taken the Jan period. Click on OK, and taking for the practice template. I'm going to deploy. Click on S to deploy. Click on OK. So the process is completed. If you want to reopen, clicking on the forms from actions menu. Then we have the reopen option. You can reopen from here. If you want to reopen, you can reopen from here. Click on close and go to home page. Click on to task tab. Click on to the supplemental data task. They have already created the practice task. If you want to change, we can change the data by changing the periods. So for 2022 John period, I don't have any data or any supplemental data task. So have the practice stem one from here. Like that, we can choose the year, period, and the scenario, whatever you are giving at the application level. So let's see in the actions. In actions, say list all the set user, set status, compare. If you want to set the status, you can set the status here. Like a form for all the forms are selected forms. So click on the home page and I'm going to sign in with the approver as the power user, clicking on the credential. So click on the task tab, click on the supplemental data. There you have the practice gem. Click on the practice gem. So if you want to add, you can add, but I don't want this much of columns from here, so I'm going to delete those columns. So I want to give the data. Whatever the condition you are given, that condition will be come here. Okay. For 1 to 10 years, I have already given the calculation values as 20, 20, 20 that are not changed. For attribute 2, I am giving the value. And I am going to submitting the task. Before submitting, let's see the actions menu, what are located, exporting and exporting to CSV. After submitting, these two options are not pop up at your actions menu, print, export or delete. Or if you want to delete, you can delete it. So click on submit. So for 20 to 30 years, 20, 10 to 10, 20, and 30 to 40, 20. All the will be aggregated to 60. The attribute to which are we are giving, the data will be coming like this. So click on next. If you want to give submit data and the 10, you can give. Why? Because it coming like that. You have the you have already data for. We have already deployed the practice gem for 2 times. That's why the reason the task in task tab for the approval status we have for the March and Feb also. Let's see them. So like this it will be coming as the pop-up. The work status is completed. It will be aggregated like this. This is already approved by the users. This is for the temp is given for the user to submit the task. The task is submitted at the user level. Now now we have the approval status. The temp is waits. So the temp is given to the approval hierarchy for the power user, so that we are getting the approval status here. If you want to approve, we can approve here. For the practice temp, we have to go for the users for approving status. Why? Because for approval we are giving the user for that practice temp, but for the temp, I mean to say for the template, we are giving the user for the submit, that is submitted at the user level, and thus giving the approval as a power user. That will be like coming like this for the approval process. So the data is given at the user level and submitted at the user level. A submitted data is coming like this. Then click on the approval level, clicking on the approve. So clicking on the next, close. That will be approved. The EN01 is approved and closed. So these are all the with the this is the preparer and this is the with approval. So go back to the user to approve the practice temp. Click on OK, and we're going to user to approve the practice temp. Click on the task tab. So take the errors. Click on the supplemental data. Here is the approval, and it is aggregated. Then we have approve. Click on approve, and if you want to post, you can post from here after approval process. Then click on next and click on close. The data is already posted. So click on to the administrator. Click on OK, and giving the credentials. So let's see. Click on the task tab. Click on the supplemental task. So the practice, those practice tempo for the March is approval, and the temp also be approved. The which is prepared, that practice will be there. If you want to approve and do the post, we can you can go with the preparer, then you can submit, and after that go with the approval, then you can approve post the task supplemental data. Likewise the task also we can approve and post the tasks. That concludes the practice for the lesson 5. Practice for 6, installing and configuring the smart. Let's see. So here is the lab where we can access all the smartphone credentials, and then download from the setting and actions all the required ones, and then saving it in the downloads or save it in your local systems. Then configure to then configure to smart view. Open Excel smart view ribbon. Click on the panel private collections, and then user provides the collections on the address bar entities. After completing all these stages, coming to the practice for 6-2 installing those of them. So after downloading all these things, install the requirements and locate in our local systems, and then open the smart view. There we have the shared connection and private connection. Whatever we need, we can configure with the connections. Click on the give the credentials. After giving the credentials, then the smart view will be open. At the smart view will be configured to the application like this. You can see here smart view and configured to the private connections, and then open or click on analysis whatever we required for the form. You can do it being and analyzing the data with smart view. So the process is same, and then open the form After open the form, and we have the zoom in zoom out options, and in advanced this option is to enable the missing blocks. From the missing blocks enabling, we can enable here, then unlock the suspicious missing blocks, then we open the form, then we can analyze the all those statuses, and we can change the status and submit the status and task manager also. Next, EPM automate. So likewise, we can install the Ultimate, run the EPM Automate. There we can go into write the commands for the importing or exporting the data. First of all, we have to log in with the command, then import and export the data. Let's see. So here is the options. There is the downloads option. I have already downloaded all the SmartView options and installed all those options and saved in my local system. So close those ones, and I'm going to show you the smart flow, how to configure with the application. Yeah, click on the Excel. So taking as in taking a new one workbook. Then click on the smart flow and click on the panel. Then I'm going to connecting with the private connections. Click on the smart flow, given the credentials, equal underscore default wow underscore technique. So the smart key is configured with the application. Expand the FCCS under library. We have created the forms. Those forms are like this, coming like this. So in forms, I'm going to one of the forms. So I'm clicking on the open form. So the form is open. This is the POV bar. If you want to refresh, you can refresh here. If you analyze, you can analyze here and hit on refresh. Here also, if you want to refresh, you can hit on. This is the POV, and so the POV is here. If you want to close the POV, you can close from here. These are the cell options. There you can comment, and here if you want to give any comment, you can give the comment from the selections. So here you can write the data and give the comments. If you want to log, you can log. If you want to run the business rule, you can run the business rule from the smart tool from here also. For consolidation, I want to run the rules. I can launch from here the business rules. And if you want to do any adjustments, grid level or grid spread and adjust the levels, we can adjust the levels from here. Is the drill through, and if you want to do any submit data, if you are make any changes, if you want to do submit data, you can submit. That will reflect at the, let's see, I'm changing the data for the form and conservation form, and I'm going to submit. The data will be reflected in the application. Let's see how it will be reflected. Submitting the data. here. Then we have the more option for job, console number, formulas, instructions, whatever we can do here. Change if you want change, you can change here. Save the changes, click on OK. Again submit the data for the change in the pre-over. So without saving, click on the submit. If you like throw like say pop-up, first you have to save, then submit the data. It will be submitted. If you want to clear, you can clear. If you want to apply the sales styles or custom sales styles, whatever you want to apply, you can apply. Let's see the change that will happen in application or not. Click on the data card, expand the form one, click on the confirm. So the data is directly reflected in the form. So the data is directly reflected in the application. Next, if I'm going to doing the ad hoc analysis, click on the ad hoc analysis, so that we have the zoom in, zoom out options. Let's see. I'm open and the form like clicking on ad hoc analysis, and if you want to zoom in next level, you can zoom in, but all the levels are there. If you want to zoom out, you can zoom out, so that the main owner's equity, interest payable, whatever the data is have written or roll up is coming like this. If you want to zoom in, then you can zoom in like this. So here is the zoom in next level. If you want, the next levels are coming like this. If you want to zoom in all levels, the all level of the data is coming like this. If you want to change from pivot, the rows and columns are changed. The pivot is using for the to change the rows to columns and columns to rows. Let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to change pivot. And pivot the last dimension on this axis. Okay. So if you want to change the rows to columns to rows, we can use the pivot. If you want to transfer into pivot to pivot, we can change the data from pivot to POV. Let's see for this. So here I'm going to show you what happened. What happened. So okay. So here the entity parents, if you want to change the entity to row to column, you can use the pivot. If you want to change the data, okay. So if you want to move the dimensions, move the columns or rows to pivot to POV, you can move them from here. Something is happened. What's the problem is? So these are all located the last dimensions. That's why it's not moving. So it's okay. Keep only. If you want to keep anyone, you can click on the keep only. That only be keep only. If you want to remove only, you can remove only. If you want to remove any of this cell or remove any of the quantity of data, you can remove. So member selections, here you can select the members. If you want to change areas, you can change. If you want to save the grid, you can save as smart forms. And next, so if you want to do the same workbook, you can choose a new workbook. You can take the new workbook or different workbooks. You can work on the new workbooks. If you are do any changes, you can hit on the refresh. This is the POV, which is related to all the things. Under selections, if you want to do comments, support, details, attachments, history, all those you can do here. Then it is the adjustment, and this is a drill back. Visualize, we can visualize the forms here. If you want to change data and submit the data, we can submit the data from here. And if you want to write any of the query, you can design the query, you can run the report from here. So next you go to the task manager. So the supplemental data. So I'm going to the supplemental data. So here is the supplemental data. Just a second. Yeah, just a second. I'm connecting to the supplemental data from private connections. Click on supplemental data, give the credentials. Giving the credentials. So now is localhost, expander. So these are the collection filters which are created by us. Click on supplemental data. So there is the entity. These forms are already uploaded and posted. For that we don't have the data. You can see the data from here. But if you want to post or approve or submit or climb is using for the team or group of members to climb them. So all these process also be done from the smart view also. In the Excel we can do all this process, but here I have submitted all the data. That's why I didn't get the data from here. If you are, yeah, for the supplemental data, I'm not going to I'm not posted en0 underscore 0. So I'm getting all the data for the supplemental data from here. Like that, if you are approve and submit or any rejection process, if you want to post, you can do from the Excel by giving the consent to the application. Like that. I'm do the credential for the task manager. Expander. Yeah. So the tasks which are posted, which have been posted already, so that these are not highlighted. If you have any approval status or any resistance status, climb status, or any of the releasing status, that will be appeared here in the at the application level. I have already done all this process, so that I don't have any form to show you the submit approve. If we create new application without submitting the task, that application we can be see here, and we can submit from here. Like have already changed the data and have show you that change the data how reflects in the application, like that. the application data is reflected here. Whichever if you are submitted upload, that data will be reflected in the application. Likewise, this smart view is configured with the application. Coming to the EPM automate. First topic. So EPM automate, launching the EPM automate. So this is the EPM automate. For EPM automate, EPM command automate login. I'm logging for the EPM automate. So I'm copying the link. So login is successful. Likewise, so the login is successful. Let's see. For exporting, I'm doing giving the command EPM automate EPM automate export metadata I'm taking the metadata from the jobs. Downloading. Export metadata. Click on dimensions. Click on export. So I have created already exported the export product. So I'm going to copy in the data. This data. So import data is completed. So at the same wise, I'm going to give the import metadata. Exported are completed. I'm giving the import metadata. So I'm giving the currency. Want to give another one, another data, then you can give as previous classes you see that how to import and export the metadata. So do all the process and check the metadata for import export and run the commands. This is the one of the process, and we can run the directly at the command section that will be reflected in the metadata import and export. Like now I am taking the importing and exporting files from the job section. Not like that. If you want to run from the command section, that will also be reflected in that. Like that, I'm logging first, then giving the import export metadata. I want to take metadata, so that giving the credentials of the metadata, then click enter. That metadata will be automatically configured with the application. Likewise, same as the import metadata, giving the import metadata, the properties, then it will be configured to its application level. So that concludes the chapter 8. Yeah. Hello, Shweta.